Welcome to the Week in Review on LiveMint.com, a show where we bring you up to date on the week that was. A massive fraud at Satyam Computers shakes investors' confidence. The country comes almost to a standstill as oil PSU officers and truckers go on strike. And finally, some good news, inflation falls below 6%. For all that and more, stay with me, I'm Rahul Sharma. It's being called the Enron of India, a massive fraud at Satyam Computers, one of the country's top IT companies, by no less than its promoter and chairman B. Ramalinga Raju, has sent shockwaves across corporate India. Soon after, Raju wrote a letter to the company board members and admitted to cooking the company's book for the past 10 years. Its stock went crashing down, taking the Sensex with it. While the government has been quick to swing into action, questions about who and how many were involved in the fraud are being asked.
What Mr. Raju writes in his letter is that none of his senior employees are involved, which is difficult to fathom, because when you do a thing of this scale, you cannot do it on your own, because Mr. Raju does not write the accounting books. It is written by different people. And what he's telling you 3-4 areas is just where the end result comes. To come to this end result, there are various routes and transactions which take place.
The company is now seriously short of cash and admitted it didn't know how it would pay future salaries. It has 53,000 employees on its rolls. The stock dropped to 18 rupees 80 paise after touching a low of 6 rupees 30 paise on Friday. Many institutional investors like Aberdeen and Swiss Finance Corporation sold their shares in block and exited. The Satyam board is meeting on Saturday to announce its third quarter results. The company is yet to file any case against Raju, and the police or enforcement agencies have not yet detained him. More on the Satyam saga is expected in the coming weeks as suspicion gathered whether Raju's confessions were fully true. Meanwhile, the country was hit by the impact of a double strike. First, it was the truckers who went on strike demanding a cut in diesel prices and a bailout package from the government. Then officers of the public sector oil companies struck work, seeking high wages and causing a fuel crisis in the country. The strike continued for 3 days before the government said that the officers' demands were unreasonable.
We will not tolerate this kind of behavior by our own employees who are reasonably well paid. According to IOC's calculations, their pay package ranges between 1 lakh and 3 lakhs approximately. And if some employees do have some issues, there is no cause for going on a strike and bringing the country to this situation.
The government came down on the employees with a heavy hand and told them that they could face legal action under ESMA if they continued being on strike. Employees from BPCL, Oil India Limited, Indian Oil and GAIL had called off their strike by late Friday evening. And on to some good news now. Inflation fell for the 9th consecutive week today to a 10-month low of 5.91% for the week ended 27 December from 6.38% in the previous week. That's sharply lower than the peak of just over 12% in August. The fall was much more than expected and occurred due to a decline in prices of food and manufactured items. A year ago, it stood at 3.83%. The previous low was recorded at 5.69% for the week ended 23 February 2008. The Axis Bank has said that the rate of inflation may possibly fall below 3% by March. More than 3 months after the sensational murder of TV journalist Soumya Vishwanathan, the police are still groping in the dark. Soumya was one of the several cases of murder in the capital last year which are yet to be solved. Perhaps because the weapon used in all these crimes was a country-made pistol. It's inexpensive, easy to dispose of, and almost impossible to trace back to the criminal. Nidhi Bhardwaj in a special report looks at the use of country-made guns and even travels to a manufacturing hub in UP.
April 7, 2008. South Delhi-based businessman Arun Gupta shot dead in broad daylight in Kalkaji area. September 18, 2008. Schoolgirl Neha Gupta shot dead at South Delhi bus stop. September 30, 2008. TV journalist Soumya Vishwanathan shot dead at 3 a.m. near Vasant Vihar. October 24, 2008. 31-year-old man shot dead in Yamuna Vihar. November 10, 2008. MCD contractor shot dead in Uttam Nagar. There's one thing common among all these cases. The criminals used illegally manufactured weapons, which made it difficult and in some of the cases even impossible to trace them. It's a growing trend and it's worrying the authorities.
In Delhi, we had large number of cases in which we had recovered illegal firearms. But certainly we can say all these firearms which have been recovered in Delhi have been brought in from other states, and so far we have not found any factory in Delhi which is manufacturing any illicit firearms.
The weapon most commonly used in such incidents is a country-made pistol known as a katta. The weapon is made using a rusty pipe attached to a crude wooden grip and a trigger. It's easily available for about 1000 to 1500 rupees. The advantages in it are many.
The advantage with the country-made weapons is that after the crime you can destroy it. You don't have to carry it all along because it's so cheaply available. And once the weapon is disposed of, the crime investigation is at a problem because you don't have fingerprints, you don't have the weapon. So the crime, even if you arrest the criminal, it doesn't stand a chance in the courtroom.
Illegal gun manufacturing units that produce such weapons are known to exist in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Bihar and Jharkhand. We traced some men in the business in a small town in Uttar Pradesh. They told us a little about who buys the guns they produce, why they prefer the crude country-made weapons and what are they used for.
पिस्टल और रिवॉल्वर महंगा पड़ता है। जब 1500 रुपए में हर आदमी यूज कर लेता है इसको। रिवॉल्वर 25,000 और 30,000 की आती है, कोई यूज नहीं कर सकता। जब कोई बात हो जाता है तो उसको आदमी फेंक देता है, भाग जाता है।
लूटामारी करते रहते हैं, यही उनका काम है। मतलब काली मूली में चिरंज करना, लोगों को गोली मार देना, पैसे मांगने, पैसे ना देने पर गोली मार देना, इसीलिए वो अपने कट्टे को इस्तेमाल करते हैं।
So what is it that draws these men into this dangerous business?
बेकारी ज्यादा है, कमाई तो बढ़ नहीं रही है, आदमी इसी पे उतर आया है। यही सबसे सस्ता काम है, 1500 का ले लो, 10,000 की छीन लो, 20,000 छीन लो।
The love of arms is always there, but now that the government has put lots of restriction on getting a gun license, and rightly so, the temptation to get arms through illicit means becomes all the more.
There is a direct correlation between proliferation of illegal arms and the rise in crime graph, and yet the police has failed to reverse the trend, with their political masters continue to turn a blind eye. For Mint, this is Nidhi Bhardwaj with cameraman Ajit Kumar.
That's all we have for you today. Have a great week ahead and join us next week.